Rules, glorious rules. We're anxious to try them, play them as written, or kind of just make it up as you go along. What's up, nerds? What's up, bird? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you from Site B, taking a walk with my raven friend here who's eating a potato chip. And apparently it's time to play tabletop role-playing game Controversy Bingo again with myself and my good friend Jeff Gamesbox. And today's bingo card is rules. Rules is written, rules is intended, rules is perceived, and you gotta play rules as written. If you didn't play the rules as written, if you didn't read the rules, you're playing wrong, blah, blah, blah. You're 40 years doesn't mean nothing. You're just an idiot. God, these people make me sick. And it never goes away. And, you know, I've said this once, I've said this a million times. It's these people who get up on these little pointless pedestals of there and argue that you're playing their game wrong. To which I would counterpoint, well, if I'm enjoying the way I'm playing it, and I've found at least one other person on this planet who enjoys the way playing it, and I'm not hurting anyone, am I playing it wrong? Or am I just playing it a way you don't like? Because I'm pretty sure most of these rules as written people who are arguing again would find the way I play completely antithesis to the rules as written. Which brings us to the argument that my shoes are untied. Rules as written, rules as intended, rules as perceived. Are they the same thing or are they different? Well, remember, no two people perceive the same thing the same way. And no two people perceive an event the same way. And an event that is observed and an event that is not observed are often different, because while in the process of observing an event, you change your perception of the event based upon your bias. That's why there's no such thing as an unbiased observer. That's why, you know, when the story of the guy robs a bank and there's 12 witnesses and the police get 12 different descriptions of the perpetrator because of their perception of the event. So there's rules / event as written, rules / event as intended, rules / event as perceived, and then of course, who cares, I'm having fun. So how can I break this down with and tie my shoes in the easiest way? That bird's just standing there staring at me. I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of birds today because it's spring. And all the eggs are hatching and stuff like that. Nature is taking its course. I'm tying my shoe because I suffer from permanent untied shoelace-itis. All right, let's use the same example I always use. Advantage and disadvantage from 5th edition. It's one of my favorite mechanics from 5th edition. Advantage, disadvantage. Now, apparently it's not the first time that mechanic has shown up, but it's the first time I ever heard of it. So, yeah. All right. Rules as written. Advantage. Roll twice. Take the best of the two. Add them all together. Tell the DM the total. Blam. All right. You need a 15 to hit that trash can. All right, 15 or better. So you've got advantage of the trash can. Okay, so you're gonna roll 2d20, take the higher of the two. All right, I'll roll 7 and an 11. I'll take the 11. Then I add my bonuses. All right, to attack the trash can with my sword. Well, that's a strength attack, and I'm a fighter, and I've got, +2 strength, so I'm 13. And then I'll go and see if I have any other bonuses. And if all my bonuses add up to 15 or better, I have hit the trash can, right? Advantage. As written, roll twice, take the better of the two. Advantage as perceived. What gives me advantage? Advantage as intended. Okay, when do I get advantage? Well, there are certain situations where you will automatically get advantage and certain situations where the DM will give you advantage. Now, some of the situations where you already get advantage are surprise. You have advantage because they don't know they're there, right? So that's the way it was intended. Rule is written, 2 dice, higher, better. Rules intended, 2 dice, higher is better. Here is when it's intended to be used. Here's a situation where you can use it. Here's a situation where you can't use it. Rules as perceived. I get to roll 2 dice because I have advantage on my character. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice all the time, right? And that is how we played 5th edition for the first couple weeks because Wizards did not bother to explain advantage in the initial 5th edition playtest. They just wrote a rule that was perceived a certain way, so we just rolled 2 dice constantly if it said anywhere on the character record sheet, advantage. Because it wasn't explained, so we just had to interpret it. Everybody perceived the advantage rule a different way, and then we all just sort of agreed upon it until Wizards of the Coast sent the second playtest packet where they explained advantage, and then we're like, oh, we're doing it wrong. Second one, also from the 5th edition playtest, would be how we were doing criticals. How criticals were written, natural 20, double damage. How criticals were intended, natural 20, roll 2 dice, take the bet, and that's, you can roll 2 dice and take the better of the 2, or you could roll 2 dice together, or you could roll the dice and double the number. That's how people perceived it, right? So for the longest time, we were rolling natural 20, double damage. I'm going to roll 2 dice because bell curve says I have a better chance. And then I'm going to add my bonuses afterwards. Well, no, what we meant was you're going to roll this and then you only add the thing. And it was just, anyways, I don't remember it exactly, but you get the point that the way it was perceived and the way it was intended are 2 different things. So you can read a rule. You can perceive that rule, but you don't know exactly how the person who wrote the rule intended it to be played. Because the way the person wrote the rule in their mind might not be the same way you're perceiving the rule, which leads to the whole fallacy of, well, there's no wrong way to play as long as you're having fun. And people will argue, well, it's not in the rules, it's a wrong way to play. And it's like, well, yes, but I'm having fun. Well, then you're not playing the game as written. I'm having fun. And this is the way we've been doing it forever. Well, that's not the way the rules are written. I don't care. See, the solution to these statements that these people make, these curmudgeons about you have to play a certain way, that's the way the rules are written, and you have to play the rules are written, and your argument that's not the way we played for 40 years doesn't count. Well, unfortunately, as much as you claim my statement is a fallacy, your statement is just as nebulous because we don't know how the rules were intended to be perceived. Only the guy who wrote them. And we can all read the rules, but we will all come to separate conclusions biased by our perception of the event. 12 people see the bank robber, 12 people describe the bank robber completely different. 2 people read the rules, 4 people read the rules, exact same rules. 4 people interpret the rules completely different. It is then your job as the DM to find the best take on the rules that works for your table. And then the table next to you might be playing the exact same game, using the exact same rules, but they interpreted them differently. And so, bank robber, they're playing different than you're playing. The differences could be very subtle. The differences could be very large. But the fact of the matter is, you're not all playing the exact same way because you're all individuals. And your individual interpretation of the event will vary and is constantly being modified by outside sources. Your mood for the day will change how you perceive the rules. So that's the flaw in the rules. 40 years doesn't matter. Rules is written. You're playing wrong. You're an idiot. Go back to high school. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah 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 blah. Well, the problem is, no one cares what you think. Really, I'm playing wrong because it's not the way you think I should be playing, but it's the way I've been playing for 40 years. Well, everybody I'm playing with plays the same way. Those are the rules we agreed upon. That's how we have all perceived the rules. The ghost of Dave Hargrave has not risen from the grave to come visit us and tell us we are playing the rules to his game wrong. So, damn shoes. If I'm having fun and everybody else is having fun and the way I'm playing is not hurting you or taking anything away from your fun, why do you care? Now, you could argue, well, I want to play the game the way I perceive the rules as written before I change it, which is fine. Play whatever game, go through the rules, interpret the rules, play it the way it's written. But then, the way it's written, the way you perceive it, the way it's intended, as we've said, are different things. So even if you're playing it exactly as it's written, and I'm playing it exactly as it's written, we're both going to perceive it differently. That's fact. I mean, that's not a subject for debate. That's been proven countless times in science and anthropology and perception. We don't perceive things the same way because we are constantly shaped by the events around us. Howdy. Howdy. Hi, my friend. Hello. Hello. Hi. Right? So, bottom line, if you're looking at videos or you're reading Reddit or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or Blue Sky or Rumble or Threads or any of these other things, and you see some person who comes on there with the whole blah 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 blah, playing wrong, awful person, play my way or else, blah blah blah, the old school did this, blah 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 blah, sparkle trolls, blah 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 blah. Ask yourself, do you care? Do you care if this person tells you you're playing wrong? That's not the way the rules are written. You're playing wrong. Ask yourself, are you having fun playing the game the way you've been playing it? Are the people you're playing the game with having fun the way you're playing it with it? Because if you're lucky to find one other human being who can arrange their schedule to match yours so you can make a game happen for 3 hours once a month in this crazy, chaotic world, you are blessed by angels, my friend, and you should hug and appreciate that 3 hours once a month with all your might. And don't let anybody tell you you're playing wrong, because you and your friends are enjoying the time together playing Goblins with Sticks. And I don't care what Gygax wrote. I don't care what Gygax intended. I am not a sycophant of Gygax. He was just a dude who brought a game to us. The game probably would have inevitably happened anyways. I'm more of a Hargrave guy. Anyways. But I do know that the very birth of the game came from a bunch of guys sitting around going, you know what would be fun? What if, instead of soldiers, one of them's a wizard? What if, instead of chasing French terrorists, we're chasing orcs from Mordor? And then another guy went, yeah, dude, that's a totally cool idea. Okay, yeah, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to do this and this. And then this guy has, and then there we go. And that's how this thing that we are playing got started. So it was a good idea. It sounds fun. That's the origins. It's a game. The game of Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop role-playing games, are in the Toy Hall of Fame. Not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Not in the Engineering Hall of Fame. Not in the Geographical Hall of Fame. No. It's in the Toy Hall of Fame because it is a game. And as long as you are playing the game and having fun playing the game and you're not hurting anybody, then who cares what Mr. Reddit says? Now, does that mean you can't learn something by watching other people, listening to other people? Sure you can. Maybe they have an idea that you go, oh, that is better. Or maybe if you're like me, after playing Critical Hits for a year wrong, somebody comes along and shows you how they're supposed to be played, and we're like, oh yeah, that is better. Dang, we've been doing it wrong. You guys want to change how we do Critical Hits? Nah, we've been doing it this way for a year. Why change it? Okay. Or, hey, no, you're playing that wrong. If you see here and you're like, oh my God, we are playing it wrong. We should change that. And everybody's like, yeah, oh dude, we should change that. We've been playing it wrong. I'm up for changing it. Then you change it. So it's okay to listen to these people if they have good ideas. It's okay to pick and choose from the vast plethora of tabletop role-playing game commentators like myself. Take the ideas you like, toss the ideas you don't aside, shake and mix and match to create the best experience for your table. But don't feel bad. Don't feel like you should be punished because this faceless voice in the interweb tells you you're playing it wrong. Rules is written, blah, 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 Gygax. Again, is it fun? Is this silly game of goblins with sticks fun? And if you're having fun, who is that guy to tell you your fun is wrong? My fun's not hurting anybody. Me and my friends are having a good time. We're having such a good time, we want to do it again. If we are lucky enough to arrange all our schedules to match one day a year. So, boo-hoo if you don't like us. You have some ideas I like, maybe I'll borrow them, but oh my God, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings because I don't play Goblins with Sticks the way you think I should play Goblins with Sticks. You don't have the right to make me feel bad. I don't even have the right to tell you how to play games I wrote. Because there's no right way. You're going to run my games the way you run them. The best facilitates the experience you have. And I'm going to ask you, did you have fun? You know, and people were sending me emails about stuff that they were doing, playing Wretched Vigilantes, and now with Shadow Dark Vigilantes, and they say, oh, I did this, this, and this. Is that what you meant? And I'm like, did you have fun doing it that way? And if they answer yes, then I'm like, yep, then you did it the right way. Who cares what I wrote? Take what you like, toss away what you don't like, have fun. right? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people making videos about how stupid I am. Please go ahead. It's free press for me. Till next time, I'm your favorite idiot, the OGGM. Talk to you later.